Well, so we are taking up today contractors all risk insurance. Contractors all risk insurance. See, this is one policy belonging to the engineering section. There are various sections in the general insurance like liability insurance section, engineering section, even fire section. So, plenty of policies are there in one particular section for the specific purposes. Here, all these engineering policies are related to three things. One, ongoing construction projects. Two, installation projects. Three, machines and equipments in project operations. There are various policies in engineering section, but those all policies relate to these three things: ongoing construction project, installation projects, and machines and equipments in project operations. See, for the sake of your knowledge, first of all, I will make it clear that this is one of the tariffed branches. Tariffed section means the policies of particular product are tariffed. Tariffed means they are similar to all the general insurance companies of India. The wordings, terms, conditions and clauses are similar with all the general insurance companies. Though the tariffs have been dismantled, but for the purpose of pricing and add-on covers. So the pricing may differ company to company, add-on covers may differ company to company, but the coverage is similar. Wordings, terms, conditions and clauses are similar with all the general insurance companies. Why? Because this engineering insurance has a wide range of policies, and there is creation, designing, construction, buildings. Because of these kind of projects, there are increased chances of related accidents and perils. So for the specific purpose, the specific policy is designed, because engineering insurance policies caters to different forms of uncertainties that are associated with on-site construction, including plant and machinery uses. Now the question is, why CAR? Why contractors all risk insurance? See, India today is a fastest growing economies of the world. Fastest growing economies. This is not on paper. This is actually. Because there is a rapid infrastructural development. When you call it as rapid infrastructural development, when you see in any country, the development is there in the field of railways, industrial units, housing facilities, dams, flyovers, power plants, and other such construction projects. So when this kind of infrastructural developments are taking place, that means that economy is growing. But on the other hand, when this kind of infrastructural developments are taking place, there is a rise in these infrastructural projects along with the rise in the risk. So the possibility of damage to the construction material, machinery or constructed portion due to environmental and man-made hazards can lead to substantial losses for the contractors, because when these projects are there, the increasing risk is there. Increasing risk may be due to the environmental factors or man-made factors. And the losses could be substantial, because these are the policies where huge money is involved. So these losses will be to the contractors. Why to the contractors? Because the policy is known as contractors always. This is normally taken by the contractors. When when a flyover is under construction, or a dam is under construction, or a power plant is under construction, maybe it is belonging to the principals or owners or the state government or the central government. Normally the tenders are invited. Jobs are allotted to the contractors. A stipulated time is given to them to complete the project. So such projects are normally handled by the contractors. And that is the reason this kind of policies are taken. Now all the engineering policies are divided into two sections. One is annual, other is long-term policies. When we say annual, that means for 12 months. Normally general insurance policies are issued for 12 months only. And these policies could be like CPM, that is Contractors, Plant and Machinery, EI, Electronic Equipment Insurance, MBD, Machinery Breakdown Insurance, BPP, Boiler and Pressure Plant Insurance. They are all annual policies. And the other classification is long-term or project insurance. These policies are known as CR and ER. Contractors always can election always. So what is the basic difference between these annual policies and long-term policies? The basic difference is based on three things. One, this long-term policy is not renewed, it is extended. This is not renewed, it is extended. While annual policy is renewed once the date of expiry is there, this is renewed for further 1 year or less than 1 year, but not more than 1 year. 1. 2. This long-term policy or a project insurance is renewed, not renewed, it is extended, but on the same terms and conditions. While the annual policy is renewed, and there may be changes in the terms and conditions as per the choice of the contractor or the insured. So there can be changes. Now this long-term policy of project insurance can be extended for a period till the project is completed. It could be 6 months, it could be 9 months, it could be 1 year, it could be 2 years. So the period is extended as per the requirement of the contractor, because till the project is completed, the policy is extended. Yes, the difference amount is charged for the extension period. So the basic difference is not only in the nature of the policy, that is annual and long term, but also on the further extensions, further terms and conditions, and certain clauses. So this is one classification that is based on the period, that is annual and long term. There is another classification that is called on the phases. Means it is based on the phases. There are two phases, construction phase and operational phase. In operation phase, those policies are issued which are given for the repair and maintenance of the machineries and projects. That means the project has already started. It is operational. Here, like policies like machinery breakdown, boiler pressure plant, machinery loss of profit, contractors plant and machinery, civil engineering completed risk, electronic equipment insurance, and deterioration of stock insurance. This kind of policies are issued because they are all relate to the operations of the project. And operation is a continuous process. So these annual policies are issued and they are further renewed when the policy is expired. renewed for further 1 year. Terms and conditions may be changed as per the requirement of the firm. But the other phase is construction phase. But the project is taking shape. This is at the construction stage. This has not yet started. No operation has started. And this phase may include the policies which are related to the period. They are also known as one-time policies. Same like CR and ER, also marine income erection, advance loss of profit, or delay in startup. So when you have seen two types of classification of these engineering policies, you must have understood by now that a lot of engineering policies are there. Plenty. And they are similar to all the general insurance companies because they are tariff-based policies. Some companies may have all these policies, some may have few of them. But these all policies are purpose specific. Means for a specific purpose there is a policy. These policies also cover the risk of maintenance period, where the risk relating to the fire and allied perils is covered. So the maintenance period can also be added. And normally these policies are issued for the projects like residential and office buildings, hospitals, schools, theatres, production facilities, infrastructure facilities, airports, bridges, dams, tunnels, and harbours. Now you will see these all projects are time consuming. They may take more than 1 year. Involvement of huge cost is there. So all these risks are covered under the CR or ER policies. Moreover, these policies have two sections. One is material damage and second is third party liability. Now this third party liability is covering both bodily injury and property damage. And material damage is a big section. Big in the sense, this policy is known as the all risk policy. What is an all risk policy? All risk policy means every risk is covered other than exclusions, specific exclusions. Unless the risk is specifically excluded, everything is covered. So the risk related to the contract work, removal of debris, professional fees, pre-issue materials, construction equipment, and even principal's existing property are covered. So the material risk section is a big one. Now when the policy will commence and when it will expire. These are two different aspects because they define period of cover. So the policy will commence under two different circumstances, whichever is earlier. What two different circumstances are there? The first one is either the project has started, means commenced the work, commencement of work. Construction, not operation. The commencement of the project has started. Or arrival of first consignment at the project site. Maybe the project is going to start after 1.5 months, but the consignment of building materials, machinery, erection material has already reached to the project site. So safety of that is also important. So from that day also the cover can start. So either of these two circumstances, whichever is earlier, the period of cover will start. Now when the cover will expire? So for expiry there are three different circumstances. One, When the completed part thereof is taken over. Means the project is completed, it is handed over to the principals or owners. Second, to put into the service. Project is, say, some power plant. So once it is completed, it is started and made operational and put into service. And third, the date is specified in the policy, whichever is earlier. So out of these three circumstances, whichever is earliest, the policy will expire. For commencement of the cover, there are two different circumstances, but for the expiry of the cover, there are three different circumstances. Now there could be one more situation. In case the work is not completed within the period specified in the policy. This is a CR policy, both CR and ER. If the work is not completed within the period specified in the policy, what will happen? Then the policy will be extended, not renewed, it is extended for the period projected to be completed. Means when the project can be complete. Means it could be 6 months, it could be 9 months, it could be 1 year, it could be 2 years. So this is estimated time as per the contractor. For that the period can be extended. Now what is the basic difference between CR and ER? See, CR stands for contractor service. ER stands for erection of this. There are a number of similarities between these two. Both are orders policies. Both are engineering policies. Both are long-term policies and project policies. Both are given for the infrastructural projects. Then what is the differentiating factor? The determining factor is value of erection and installation work. What does it mean? If the %50% or more than 50% cost of the total project belongs to value of erection and installation work, in that case erection or this policy will be given. Or if more than 50% cost of the total project is going to be incurred on civil work or construction work, in that case CR policy will be given. I give you an example. Suppose I have taken a contract of 2 hospitals, one at Chennai and one at Bangalore. Estimated cost of both the hospitals is 50 crore. Now in a hospital, 10 floors building will be there. And more than 70% cost will be incurred on the construction of building. So in that case, since the value of erection or installation work is less than 30%, the CR policy will be given, because this civil work or construction work is more. So in the projects like power plants, industries, factories, there the value of erection and installation work is more. There only the ER policy is given, because there more than 50% cost is going to be incurred on the value of erection and installation work of the total project. So that is the basic difference between CR and ER, and this is one and only determining factor that will decide which policy is applicable. Otherwise, normally these policies are similar. Nature is same, engineering policies are there, orders policies are there, and both are related to the projects. Both are extendable for any further period. Now there are unique features of these policies. First of all, for any proposal, there will be risk inspection by the company engineers. All general insurance companies are hiring the risk inspection engineers because they are the people who are playing very important and crucial role. They are inspecting the sites, visiting the site and inspecting and submitting their reports. On the basis of their report, the underwriter of the company is accepting or rejecting the proposal and also applying the premium rates on their projects. Because they are the people who are suggesting the measures and explaining the features, risk features. So their report is very important, and these people, risk inspection engineers, are playing a key role here. Secondly, because the huge involvement of money is there, long-term involvement is there, so it is the utmost duty of the insured to declare all material information. Because the decision of acceptance and declining of the proposal depends upon the material information. So it is the bounden duty of the insured as well as the insurer to declare the material information. But here, in case of projects, all the information lies with the insured only. So he has to declare the information in the proposal form correctly and not to conceal the important facts. Thirdly, the policy can be issued in the joint name of two or more parties, that is, principals, contractors, and subcontractors. Almost all classes of engineering insurance are controlled by tariffs, which prescribes standardized proposal and policy wordings. That is what I am telling you. All the general insurance companies are having similar kind of policies of engineering class because the wordings are standardized, proposal and policy wordings. So no company dare changing these words and conditions and terms and clauses because they are based on the verdicts of the courts. Yes, there is a freedom of charging any premium rate, freedom of issuing any add-on cover, whatever is approved by the IRDAI. Otherwise, the policy terms, wordings, conditions and clauses are almost similar. The sum insured is adjustable at completion of the construction on the basis of the actual value because the projected cost may increase in multiple times even at times. So on the basis of actual value, the sum insured is adjustable. Now the CR policy is given where the civil work involved is more than 50% of the total contract value. But at the same time, the risk must be located within India. Any project which is beyond India cannot be insured under the CR policy or ER policy. Say for example, I am a contractor, I have taken 3 contracts of constructing hospitals, one in Chennai, one is Bangalore, one is Colombo. Now, insurance company can give the CR policy for my 2 projects, that is Chennai and Bangalore, not for the Colombo, because there the insurance policy of that country will apply. So the risk must be located in India. This is a location specific policy. Policy can be taken by the principal, contractor or subcontractor. That means your target segments are government contractors involved in government projects like road construction, bridge construction, building construction, and builders and developers of township. Builders and developers of township, they are also your big client because they are involving huge money in developing the townships, buildings. They may also ask for this policy from you. Nature of project differs. Say for example, this is a residential building, this is a road construction. The another one is, say suppose, hospital building. So the nature of project may differ. But since in all these projects you will find that the civil work is more, construction work is more. So they are all covered under the CR policy. For this kind of specific projects where the civil work is more than 50% of the total cost of the project, the CR policy is applicable. Now the policy has the all risk coverage. All risk coverage is very big term. Because all risks are covered except those risks which are specifically excluded. So CR policy provides all risk cover. That means almost any sudden or unforeseen loss or damage is covered. And second section is third party liability, that is liability to the property and the person. Now the section 1 material damage can be elaborated in detail. Say for example, this includes all the fire perils. Fire perils means like fire, lightning, explosion, theft, burglary, windstorm. Burglary is a separate one. Windstorm, flood, inundation, earthquake, landsliding, rock sliding, substance. They are the perils insured under the fire policies. Secondly, construction faults, defective material, workmanship, collapse, subject to exclusions. Third, human errors, lack of skills, negligence of workers. Fourth, other perils like air crash, blasting. And in addition, any risk which is not specifically excluded is also covered. So this material damage section is very wide. Almost under all the circumstances the claim is payable except the specific perils which are excluded. I give an example with the real image of loss. This is a real image of loss. Loss at Delhi metro site. Now suppose this kind of loss is taking place. What kind of losses are there? Loss to the building, loss to the machinery, loss to the human life, loss to the animals, and everything which is coming in contact of these collapsing materials. You can imagine huge amount of loss is there. You cannot even assess by looking at the picture. But all these losses are covered under CR policy. Now the important question is how to decide the sum insured of this policy. This is important because this policy is subject to underinsurance. Wherever there is underinsurance means average clause will be applicable. Now what is this average clause? This is a clause which proportionately reduces the amount of claim. Proportionately means if the sum insured is 70% of the total cost of the project, that means 30% is uninsured. If there is any loss, the 30% of the claim amount will be unpaid. That will not be paid. So the simple formula says sum insured must be adequate, otherwise insured would be loser. And this is typical here because policy is a long-term policy. cost may increase because the projected cost is bound to increase over a period of time. Why? Labor cost is increasing, building material cost is increasing, situational cost is increasing. And sometimes what happens? Suppose the projected cost is 200 crores. Stipulated time is 2 years. By the time the project is completed, the cost has reached to 450 crores. There is a live example in Jaipur. Live example. There was a project called Dravyavati Nadi. A canal was converted into the river, Dravyavati Nadi. So the projected cost of the Dravyavati river or Dravyavati Nadi was 450 crores. It took 2.5 years to complete. And when it was completed, the cost was 1,450 crores. So it can increase in multiples. Lot of factors are there. So it is better to include everything in the sum insured. Say suppose some machineries are imported. What is their landed cost at site? Some machineries are purchased or manufactured within the country, means indigenous. What is their landed cost at the site? What is the cost of construction? What is the permanent civil engineering work? Half the escalated value, if escalation is opted for. And in addition, completed value on of the contract work on completion of construction, inclusive of cost of material, wages, freight, custom duty, construction cost, and material or items supplied by the principals. So these wages, freight, custom duty, they should also be part of the sum insured. In other words, you can say the cost of the project or the sum insured may be over insured. In that case, it will cover the escalation during the completion time. But under no circumstances it should be underinsured. If it is underinsured, then the insured is going to suffer the losses at the time of claim. So what he should do? He should include these all: project cost, construction duration, project locations, coverage requirement, tailored insurance solutions. Even those high-risk areas such as earthquakes should be considered. So when you are deciding the sum insured, key factors influencing contractors' all-risk insurance cost should be considered, and the sum insured should be appropriate one. In addition, the policy provides certain add-on covers, and these all add-on covers are useful for the contractors. They are selected. The only thing is they are optional, voluntary. But each one of them has the additional cost. Third-party liability, surrounding property of insured, escalation, removal of levies, CPM, and maintenance. Here the CPM may be giving you some surprise. Because CPM is a separate insurance policy of the engineering class, which is covering the contractor's plant and machineries. But say some 1 or 2 units of the contractor are working day and night at the project site and limited sum insured is there. In that case, the CR policy can also provide an add-on cover to cover those plant and machineries also. So here it is an add-on cover available at the additional cost. Any of these add-on covers can be selected at an additional premium by the contractor. And they are required. Why? Because this is a natural or real loss. Building under course of construction collapses. And you never know how many floors have fallen, plus whatever is left out, whether it can be utilized or that has to be demolished again to restart the project. Because looking at this picture, you cannot estimate the loss. Whatever is under the debris, that has to be seen. Maybe the loss of life is there, loss of animals is there, loss of machinery is there, loss of material, building material is there. Only an expert surveyor can assess this kind of loss. But the policy does not cover certain risks which are specific exclusions of the policy. In any all risk insurance policy, exclusions are important. So let us say willful act and willful negligence of the insured or his representatives is not covered. Loss discovered at the time of taking the inventory is not covered. Loss or damage due to faulty design are not covered. Consequential loss of any kind of penalty or delay or non-fulfillment of term of contract is not covered. Cost necessary for rectification of or correction is not covered. And the most important is bodily injury or illness or death or disability of employees or workmen of the contractor or principal is not covered under the CR policy. Why this is not covered? Because the workmen of contractors are covered under a separate policy. That policy is known as the Workmen Compensation Insurance or the Employees Compensation Insurance. Similar is the case with the workmen of the principals or employees of the principals. You have to take separate policy for them. Maybe a group personal accident policy or an employee compensation insurance policy, that is covered under those policies, but not under the CR policy. Now, additional third party liability coverage can be taken. Why this is important? Because this liability coverage is selected by the contractor and he has to choose two things: any 1% limit and any one accident limit. Premium rate may differ company to company, but the coverage will be given only on this basis. This is required because this kind of happenings can be there. The building under course of construction at Ghaziabad collapsed. 2 passerbys killed. Passerby means people going in nearby area, maybe with the adjacent road. They are neither the workmen nor the employees at the project site. They are the third persons. They are walking as usual on the road. So that liability can be there as per the order of the court. That can be covered. Now, as far as the loss to this portion is concerned, that could be partial or total loss. If it is partial, in that case, the CR policy will pay the cost of repair to restore the property to the original condition immediately before the loss. Less policy clauses like salvage, under insurance, compulsory excess. If under insurance is there, then only the under insurance clause will be applicable. But suppose if the total loss is there, in that case, actual value of property immediately before the loss, less policy clauses, salvage, under insurance, and compulsory excess. So under all the engineering policies, there is a clause that says reinstatement of sum insured must be there. when it is required. If any claim is paid during the policy period, the sum insured will be reduced by that amount. And there is a possibility of another loss during the unexpired period of risk. In that period, if there is any other claim, insured may suffer under insurance loss. So it is always better to restate the sum insured by paying the difference amount of premium, so that in the unexpired period of policy, if at all there is any claim, insured should not suffer. Now there are certain key points related to this policy. 1. The rating is applicable as per the nature of project. Say suppose it is hospital, it is road, it is bridge, it is tunnel. So the tariff provide different rates for different projects. Then mid-term cover. No company will provide the mid-term cover. Suppose my project has started 6 months before. I am coming to you now that give me CR policy. You will definitely ask when the project is started or yet to start. I say it has started only 6 months before. So there is a possibility that the losses are there, then only I am asking for the policy. I must be concealing the fact. I am hiding the truth. So no company will give me. And if any company is giving me, they will put 2 conditions. 1. The premium has to be paid from the date of commencement of the project. That means 6 months before. And secondly, a written declaration has to be given of no loss till date. There is no loss. In that case, insured cannot manipulate anything. If there is any loss, he cannot claim immediately after taking the policy, or even after, because that loss is owed, and he has given a declaration that there is no loss. A small term policies can be given because sometimes the projects are so small that can complete in 4 months, 6 months, 8 months. So small term policies can be given. But if in case the project does not complete in the given policy period, in that case extension can be taken. There is a possibility that the insurer can be changed. How it is possible? Suppose I have a project of 200 crores, 1 year has expired, I need extension for 1 more year. I took the policy from Bajaj. I am not satisfied with the services of Bajaj. I come to you to give me an extension period of 1 year. Definitely your company will not give me. They will say you have taken the policy from Bajaj, you have paid the premium of 1 year to Bajaj, you take the extension from that company only. I say no, I don't want extension from them. Then I want to insure from you only. Then what will you say? Okay, give us that premium to us. If the policy has been taken from one insurance company, extension cannot be given by another company without taking the entire project premium. Whatever premium you have paid to them, that premium has to be paid to us. Then only we will be responsible for the losses caused in the previous years. So insurer can be changed. There is an installment facility in this policy. Premium installment facility. In case the project period is more than or equal to 12 months, premium can be taken in quarterly installments. There is a higher discount facility. Higher discount means higher discount can be given if the insured is agreed to accept higher access. This is a tariff provision. All insurance companies can give. Say for example, the compulsory access of the policy is 1 lakh rupees. I am taking the policy, I say I will not claim any loss up to 10 lakh rupees. So I am ready to be at 10 times of the compulsory excess. In that case, company will provide me 20% discount, in addition to all other discounts, non-tariff discount, etc. Because sometimes the contractors are taking this policy just to submit to the principals or owners, because this is a condition in their tender that you have to submit a policy, CR policy, for the total cost of the projects. So there, this kind of discounts are required. Now, if the contractor is experienced, he can ask a clause to you, and that is 50-50 clause, because they understand the importance of this clause. And this clause is very important because this is without any cost, but this is given only on the asking. This is available with the policy when it is asked. All the general insurance companies provide it. But the benefit is taken by those experienced contractors who know that this type of circumstances can take place after the completion of the projects. So they understand the utility of these projects. What happens normally? Say suppose one project is completed, it is handed over to the principals. That means the risk is terminated and the policy is expired. There is no insurance today. After say 1 month or 2 months, some loss is discovered. And this is an old loss. That time it does not came to the knowledge. So that contractor or the insured or the principal will definitely file a claim on the insurance company. Insurance company will say, no, we are not on risk today. This is a current loss. We will not pay. Insured will say this is old loss. This took place when the policy was there, when the risk was not terminated. Insurance company will say, no, today we are not on risk. We will not accept it. What is the way out? Insurance company says, okay, we will give you one more opportunity. We are sending our surveyor. He will investigate the facts. He will find out when the loss took place. When surveyor reached, he also says it is not possible to ascertain whether the cause of loss or the loss happened prior to the termination of the insurance policy or after that. So there is a difficult situation, controversial situation. Because the amount involved is big one, maybe in crores of rupees. Policy was extended and after completion, this situation arises. So if the 50-50 clause is taken, this provides a remedy. And the remedy is that both the parties shall bear 50% liability. Insurer will contribute 50% of the loss amount, and the remaining 50% has to be borne by the insured himself. That means the liability is shared by both the parties. If any loss discovered after the risk is terminated cannot be settled by the insurance company because it is not ascertainable whether the loss took place before the termination of the insurance or after the termination of insurance. In such a case, the only remedy available with the insurance company is to contribute the liability on 50% basis, provided the insured has taken the 50-50 clause. In that case only the liability will be shared. So this is one good clause. The contractor may also ask for another important clause that is called 72-hour clause. This is also most important with the CR policy. This is also free of cost, but given on demand. This plays a different role. See what happens. Suppose the project is under construction and it is damaged by, say, flood or by cyclone or by earthquake. So the loss happened is not one time because the impact was serious. So on the second day or third day, the impact may be reflected. Say suppose earthquake is there. Shock was serious on the Richter scale. So the top floor has fallen, collapsed. On the second day, one more floor has fallen. So when the incident took place, insured intimated the insurance company and the claim was registered. But second day again, when one more floor was fallen or collapsed, he again intimated the insurance company and the second claim was registered. Fourth day again, some portion of the top floor was collapsed. He again intimated the insurance company, next claim was also registered. Same location, same insured, same project, same cause of loss. But it is continuing on with different intervals on different dates. So the insured is reporting the loss every day to the insurance company. Insurance company is registering different losses on different dates. What will happen? Who is going to lose? Who is going to benefit it? Policy says there is a compulsory access applicable to each claim. If number of claims are registered, that means the compulsory access will apply on each claim. So insured has to bear more losses because of the deduction of compulsory access. What will happen? Insured will lose. So insured would always prefer that this is only one cause of loss. This is the same location. This is the same building. There is no change in any risk. But the impact is so severe that it is continuously causing the losses with interruptions. So better you deal it as one claim only. And this is for that purpose that within 72 hours, whatever losses have taken place, they will be treated as one. Means within 3 days, whatever losses have taken, they will be treated as one. So the insured is going to suffer with one compulsory access only, that is compulsory. So this is also good for the insured. Now you have to see when the customer is approaching to you for CR or ER policy, you have to see and ask one question. Whether your civil work is more than 50% of the total cost of the project or your erections or equipment cost is more than 50% of the total cost. Only on that basis you have to give the ER policy or CR policy. So this is the engineering section where number of policies are there, some are annual, some are long term. And CAR is a long term policy that is given for the project insurance. So CR is most important policy from that point of view because for every kind of civil work or building in course of construction, this policy is required. Now you can ask the questions.